Back to the Future wasn't just a blockbuster. It was a cultural phenomenon that turned Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and Lea Thompson into household names. But what happened once the bright lights of Hollywood dimmed on this beloved cast? Did scandals, missteps, and personal hardships reshape their lives forever? Can they reclaim their past stardom, or have they truly faded into the past? Join us as we uncover the highs and lows of the stars of Back to the Future. The truth may shock you. Christopher Lloyd, a Hollywood legend's journey through fame and challenges. Christopher Lloyd is one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, best known for his unforgettable role as the eccentric Dr. Emmett "Doc" Brown in Back to the Future. Though his performance became legendary, he struggled to build on that success and faced challenges in securing major roles. Despite his undeniable talent, Lloyd's career path took unexpected turns, making his journey in Hollywood both remarkable and complex. Born on October 22, 1938 in Stamford, Connecticut, Lloyd's passion for acting began on the theater stage. Trained in prestigious acting schools, he started his career on Broadway before transitioning to film and television. While Back to the Future cemented his place in cinema history, he also captivated audiences in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, 1988, Clue, 1985, and The Addams Family, 1991, proving his versatility as an actor. Yet, behind the scenes, Lloyd's career was not without struggles. He was known for his dedication to his craft, but often found it difficult to secure consistent, high-profile roles. Unlike many Hollywood stars, he avoided scandals and preferred a quiet, private life, focusing on projects that truly inspired him. Insiders say he never fully embraced the glitzy side of show business, instead choosing to work steadily without chasing the spotlight. Now at 85, Lloyd remains active in film and television. Though he no longer headlines major blockbusters, his appearances in productions like The Mandalorian and The Tender Bar continue to captivate audiences. His commitment to acting has made him a symbol of perseverance in the industry. In his later years, Lloyd faces the natural challenges of aging, but remains dedicated to his craft. His personal life, marked by multiple marriages and private relationships, has always remained out of the tabloids. Though his golden years in Hollywood have passed, Christopher Lloyd's legacy endures, his passion and contributions proving that true talent stands the test of time. Michael J. Fox, the 1980s icon, whose bright future took an unexpected turn. In the 1980s, Michael J. Fox captured hearts worldwide as Marty McFly in Back to the Future, 1985. With his boyish charm, playful energy, and magnetic screen presence, he became the ultimate symbol of teenage dreams and aspirations. Critics and audiences alike praised his remarkable talent, and his charisma made him one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Fox's career shined brightly, earning him 5 Emmy Awards and 4 Golden Globe Awards. But his talents extended beyond acting. He even took home a Grammy for Best Spoken Word Album, proving his versatility both on and off the screen. After skyrocketing to fame, Michael J. Fox reached the pinnacle of his career. But the pressures of stardom led him down a turbulent path, entangling him in scandals and personal struggles. Swept up in Hollywood's fast-paced lifestyle, he became a fixture at glamorous parties, often drinking late into the night with friends like Woody Harrelson. Though his career was thriving, his personal life was unraveling. Those nights of excess would later take a toll on his health, setting the stage for a battle he never saw coming. In 1991, at just 29 years old, Fox was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a shocking revelation he kept hidden for years. The weight of this reality sent him into a downward spiral, where alcohol became his escape. His once vibrant face began showing signs of exhaustion, and the disease slowly affected his movements and voice. At first, he withdrew from his loved ones, straining his relationship with his wife and children. But in 1992, his wife, Tracy Pollan, confronted him, pushing him to make a change. Determined to fight back, he quit drinking, sought therapy, and found a renewed sense of purpose. Despite his struggles, Fox turned his pain into purpose. He established the Michael J. Fox Foundation, raising millions for Parkinson's research. Through his autobiography and public appearances, he has inspired countless people with his unwavering optimism. Though his illness altered his career, he credits his family and passion for acting for helping him overcome his darkest moments. Crispin Glover, the eccentric star who drifted from Hollywood's spotlight. Crispin Glover left an unforgettable mark on audiences with his role as George McFly in Back to the Future, 1985, portraying Marty McFly's awkward, timid father. His transformation from a shy, bullied man to a confident, successful figure was one of the film's most satisfying arcs. Yet, despite the movie's massive success, Glover's unconventional behavior and puzzling career choices prevented him from capitalizing on his breakthrough moment. His talents weren't limited to Back to the Future. Glover had already showcased his unique acting style in River's Edge, 1986, and The Doors, 1991. With his offbeat, intense performances, he became a rising star in the 1980s and early 1990s, known for his creativity and willingness to take on unusual roles. But his career took a sharp turn after an infamous appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman. During the interview, Glover exhibited bizarre behavior, refusing to answer questions directly and making erratic gestures. The moment that truly shocked audiences was when he suddenly attempted a high kick, nearly striking Letterman. The incident sparked controversy and raised concerns about his mental state, damaging his reputation in the industry. Rather than taking on mainstream roles, Glover doubled down on his eccentric image, choosing projects that were unconventional and difficult for general audiences to understand. His decisions alienated him from major studios, and he soon became known more for his strange behavior than for his acting talent. Once seen as a promising star, he instead became an example of how erratic choices can derail a career. Despite his struggles, Glover didn't disappear completely. He shifted his focus to directing and producing, releasing What Is It? 2005, an avant-garde film filled with surreal, controversial themes. While his artistic ambition was undeniable, his past controversies continued to overshadow his work, making it difficult for him to regain his former standing. Today, Glover leads a quiet, reclusive life, rarely making appearances at major Hollywood events. Though he still has dedicated fans, his past missteps have kept him on the fringes of the industry. Lea Thompson, the Hollywood star, who chose family over fame. Lea Thompson became a household name as Lorraine Baines McFly in Back to the Future, 1985, winning over audiences as Marty McFly's charming and spirited mother. Despite her rise to fame, Thompson made a conscious decision to step away from the Hollywood spotlight, choosing a quieter, more private life. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, she built an impressive career, starring in Red Dawn, 1984, All the Right Moves, 1983, and Some Kind of Wonderful, 1987. With her natural charm and timeless beauty, she became a Hollywood favorite, embodying grace and elegance on screen. However, like many in the industry, she faced challenges both in her career and personal life. Thompson was briefly married to director Howard Deutsch, who worked on several of her films. Together, they had a daughter, Zoe Deutsch, who followed in her mother's footsteps and became a successful actress. But their marriage ended in the early 2000s, marking a difficult chapter in Thompson's life. As Hollywood evolved, Thompson's career shifted from leading film roles to television. She faced the pressures of maintaining her image in an ever-changing industry, openly admitting to struggles with self-doubt as opportunities became harder to find. At the same time, balancing work and family proved challenging, especially as she supported her daughter's rise in the entertainment world. Despite facing health concerns and career setbacks, Thompson remained dedicated to her craft. She continued acting, primarily in television series and independent films, though fans still remember her most for Back to the Future. Though she no longer dominates the big screen, her enduring legacy has kept her in the hearts of longtime admirers. Now, Lea Thompson enjoys a stable family life, far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. While she maintains a private lifestyle, she occasionally makes public appearances, offering fans glimpses into her life. Though her career has taken a quieter turn, her impact on film history remains undeniable. Thomas F. Wilson, the man behind Biff Tannen, trapped in his own shadow. When Back to the Future hit theaters in 1985, Thomas F. Wilson became a household name as Biff Tannen, the loudmouthed bully who tormented Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, and the entire McFly family. With his perfect mix of arrogance, menace, and humor, Wilson brought Biff to life in a way that made him one of the most unforgettable villains in movie history. But while audiences loved to hate Biff, the role would follow Wilson for the rest of his career. Despite Back to the Future launching him into the spotlight, Wilson struggled to find roles that would help him break free from Biff's shadow. He continued acting in films and television, but none of his later roles came close to the fame he gained as the towering bully of Hill Valley. The industry often typecast him, making it difficult for him to showcase his range as an actor. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, as the Back to the Future trilogy cemented its place as a cultural phenomenon, Wilson faced career and financial challenges. Though he avoided the scandals that plagued many of his peers, his association with Biff limited his opportunities. In interviews, Wilson openly expressed frustration over constantly being recognized only for that one role, feeling as if his career had been trapped in a time loop of its own. Rather than letting Hollywood's limitations define him, Wilson took control of his own path. He turned to stand-up comedy, television work, and music, channeling his creativity into new projects. His distinctive voice also made him a sought-after talent for animated shows. At the same time, he embraced the Back to the Future fan base, making appearances at conventions and even performing comedic songs about his experiences as Biff. Even with his continued connection to the franchise, Wilson couldn't escape the reality that his mainstream acting career never reached the heights he once hoped for. Though he found steady work in television and smaller projects, the industry rarely saw him as more than the brash bully from Hill Valley. No matter how much time passed, Biff Tannen remained the defining role of his career. Claudia Wells, a promising star who chose family over fame. Claudia Wells captured hearts as Jennifer Parker, Marty McFly's sweet and supportive girlfriend in Back to the Future, 1985. Her role brought warmth to the film, especially in her heartfelt moments with Michael J. Fox's character. With the movie's massive success, Wells became a recognizable face in Hollywood, and many expected her career to soar. However, just as opportunities were opening up, fate had other plans. Despite her rising stardom, Wells made the difficult decision to step away from acting to focus on her family. Her mother's battle with cancer became her priority, and she chose to put Hollywood on hold. Unfortunately, her extended absence took a toll on her career, and when she was ready to return, the industry had already moved on. One of the biggest turning points came when Wells was unable to reprise her role as Jennifer Parker in Back to the Future Part 2, 1989. Due to her personal commitments, the role was recast with Elizabeth Shue, a change that significantly impacted how audiences remembered Wells. Without the sequel to solidify her place in the franchise, her name gradually faded from mainstream Hollywood. By the 2000s, Wells attempted a comeback, taking on smaller film roles and making appearances at Back to the Future fan events. While she remained beloved by fans, she never regained the level of fame she once had. Mark McClure, a familiar face who struggled to find stardom. Mark McClure may not have been the most recognizable face in Back to the Future, but as Dave McFly, Marty's older brother, he was still part of the beloved McFly family. His role placed him in one of Hollywood's most iconic films, yet unlike Michael J. Fox or Christopher Lloyd, McClure's character remained in the background, never taking center stage. Despite landing a role in such a blockbuster, McClure struggled to turn that early opportunity into lasting success. While some actors from the film went on to bigger projects, he found himself limited in his choices. His career never took off in the way many expected, and despite his talent, he wasn't able to land major roles that could redefine his place in Hollywood. Unlike many actors who fade from the spotlight due to controversy or scandal, McClure simply never had that big breakthrough moment. His presence in Hollywood gradually diminished, and over time, he appeared in fewer and fewer projects. Though he continued to work, he never found the role that would elevate him beyond being a familiar face from the past. Today, McClure still resides in Los Angeles, occasionally taking on small roles in television or film. While he no longer actively pursues stardom, he remains content with the career he had. Though his journey didn't lead to A-list fame, he will always be remembered as a part of Back to the Future history. Mark McClure, a familiar face who struggled to find stardom. Mark McClure may not have been the most recognizable face in Back to the Future, but as Dave McFly, Marty's older brother, he was still part of the beloved McFly family. His role placed him in one of Hollywood's most iconic films, yet unlike Michael J. Fox or Christopher Lloyd, McClure's character remained in the background, never taking center stage. Despite landing a role in such a blockbuster, McClure struggled to turn that early opportunity into lasting success. While some actors from the film went on to bigger projects, he found himself limited in his choices. His career never took off in the way many expected, and despite his talent, he wasn't able to land major roles that could redefine his place in Hollywood. Unlike many actors who fade from the spotlight due to controversy or scandal, McClure simply never had that big breakthrough moment. His presence in Hollywood gradually diminished, and over time, he appeared in fewer and fewer projects. Though he continued to work, he never found the role that would elevate him beyond being a familiar face from the past. Sam Baines, a quiet talent who never reached stardom. George DiCenzo may not have had the most recognizable face in Back to the Future, but as Sam Baines, Lorraine's father and Stella's husband, he played a key role in shaping the film's nostalgic 1950s setting. Though not a major character, his presence added authenticity to the Baines family and helped bring the story to life. Despite his dedication to acting, DiCenzo never quite found the breakthrough role that would propel him to lasting fame. Following his time in Back to the Future, DiCenzo continued to work steadily in television and film, though always in supporting roles. While many actors struggled with personal scandals, DiCenzo lived a quiet, respectable life, free of controversy. Yet, even with a clean reputation, his career never soared to the heights he may have hoped for, and over time, he faded from the public eye. In 2018, the entertainment world lost DiCenzo when he passed away from cancer. Francis Lee McCain, a subtle talent who faded from the spotlight. Francis Lee McCain may not have been a central figure in Back to the Future, but as Stella Baines, Lorraine's mother, she helped bring warmth and authenticity to the film's depiction of family life. Her role added emotional depth, shaping the world that young Lorraine grew up in and giving the story a sense of nostalgia that resonated with audiences. Yet, like many of her fellow cast members, McCain's career eventually faded into the background. Although she avoided the scandals that often plague Hollywood actors, McCain struggled to find lasting success after Back to the Future. She continued working in television and film, appearing in various projects, but none of her roles were significant enough to elevate her to greater stardom. James Tolkan, Hollywood's unforgettable principal, who chose a quiet path. James Tolkan left a lasting impression as Principal Strickland, the no-nonsense disciplinarian of Hill Valley High in Back to the Future, 1985. Though a minor character, Strickland stood out with his tough-as-nails attitude, cold stares, and sharp criticism, especially toward Marty McFly. His presence in the film's sequels only strengthened his image as the classic strict educator, a role that resonated with audiences and added to the film's nostalgic charm. Despite his memorable performance, James Tolkan never reached the same level of stardom as some of his Back to the Future co-stars. While he stayed away from Hollywood scandals, his career followed a quieter trajectory, never quite hitting the peaks of fame. Tolkan largely kept his personal life private, avoiding the spotlight that so often comes with celebrity status. Unlike many actors, he chose not to chase the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, preferring a more reserved and dignified lifestyle. Now in his later years, James Tolkan may no longer carry the same commanding presence as his on-screen counterpart, but time has only deepened the respect fans have for him. His legacy as Principal Strickland remains strong, a testament to his dedication to the craft, even if his career never soared to Hollywood's highest heights. Harry Waters Jr., a jazz talent who remains in the shadows of Hollywood. Harry Waters Jr. delivered a memorable performance as Marvin Berry in Back to the Future, but unlike some of his co-stars, his Hollywood career never truly took flight. While his portrayal of the smooth-voiced bandleader added charm to the film's famous dance scene, it wasn't enough to catapult him to stardom. Instead of pursuing a full-time acting career, Waters focused on his passion for jazz, performing in various musical projects. Though he never found himself at the center of Hollywood gossip or controversy, his name rarely made headlines, and his career remained more subdued than that of his fellow cast members. Today, Harry Waters Jr. continues to live a quiet, private life. He performs in small music venues and pursues solo projects, though his work outside of Back to the Future has largely gone unnoticed by the mainstream media. Still, devoted fans of the film continue to hold him in high regard, even if his acting career never reached greater heights. Donald Fullilove, a symbol of optimism and determination, but a career that never reached Hollywood heights. Donald Fullilove brought warmth and charm to Back to the Future as Goldie Wilson, the enthusiastic diner worker who, with a little encouragement from Marty McFly, believed in his potential and went on to become mayor. His character's journey was an uplifting reminder that anyone can shape their own destiny with enough determination. Following the film's success, Fullilove continued to take on roles in movies and television, but his career never reached the heights many had hoped for. While he steered clear of scandals, the big opportunities never quite materialized. Despite appearing in a handful of projects, he remained mostly in the background, taking on smaller roles that garnered little attention. More than 40 years after Back to the Future captivated audiences, its cast has faced unexpected turns. While the film launched them to fame, its legacy also made it hard for some to sustain success in Hollywood. It's one of the industry's great ironies. Many who helped make the film iconic struggle to stay in the spotlight. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more fascinating stories.